history should not be written by the conquerors. I believe that history should be written by the people themselves, di ba? Ten, 20, 50 years from now, as long as you have the book, you can cook a dish that evolved at the turn of the century. See, hindi mo makakalimutan kasi nasulat. That's why I started gathering information about our food in Cebu, the recipes. And then I called it hikay, because hikay is the Cebuano word for preparing food. If you say, I have to go home now kaya maghikay pa ko, that means I'm going to prepare food. Cebu does not have vast lands like Negros or Leyte. Cebu is like an elongated kamote with mountain ridges in the middle, and then it slopes down to the sea. Sam nga pangpang na, dagat agad. So that's why traditionally we do not raise rice. So we planted before millet or kabug because it grows in the hillsides. It does not need a lot of water. Because of our lack of natural resources, we have learned to be traders. That's why Cebu is so open to the world. The influences in our cooking started maybe from the Chinese, and then more than 300 years of Spanish influence in our cooking. But the thing is, mahal yung ingredients ng Spanish cooking. And so with all the influences, and then later on came the Americans. But I think all of these influences have enriched our food. Kasi from sugba, tuwa, and kilaw, which is very basic, we learned to fry. We learned to gisal in Cebuano, which is gisar in Spanish. Tapos isasangkot siya mo yun, saka mo ilalagay yung sahog, and then you can make so many dishes from that. So, yun ang I think basic na assumption mo sa Cebuano cooking. The Chinese must always been with us because they came here to trade. Like the Spaniards, they came to colonize, to take over us. But when the Chinese came, they came to trade, and then they stayed, and then they intermarried. Nagkasawa na rito. So nagkisilang Cebuano in a way, di ba? So like, ang influence nila sa aming food, for example. And then, we always say nga na, bakit walang Chinatown sa Cebu? Walang Chinatown kasi the whole Cebu is a Chinatown. Cebuano cuisine actually is very basic. Ang hinihingi lang ng Cebuano is always freshness in the ingredients. Kaya yung basic 3 methods of cooking na paborito namin na sinugba, tinuwa, and kinilaw. Kung walang preskong isda, walang kinilaw. Actually, we eat what the land and the sea can provide us. Hindi maarte ang Cebuano cuisine. It's just that we want freshness. Kaya may luya ang lahat ng aming dishes because we don't want langsa. Yung siniserve namin na STK, yung shoot to kill, di ba? Yan yung naano lagi ng mga tao na sa Cebu may shoot to kill. So yun na rin yung sinerve namin kay Magellan. So whatever you eat now goes a long way back to the 16th century. Humba is, in Chinese, is humba, which means braised pork. And that is how you cook it. The way of cooking humba is braising, meaning to say, may konting liquid, di ba? But what gives it away as Chinese is the use of black beans, soy sauce, and sugar. Matamis ang humba eh. Meron niyang clavos de comer or the cloves, yung may laurel. So almost all of the spicing in humba is also Chinese. Our adobo here is called Pinauga. It's a pre-colonial way of cooking adobo. We called it adobo because when the Spaniards tasted it, as sabi ni Pigafetta, and they cooked their meat just like ours. Yung merong suka, merong asin. First, we marinate it and then cook it in its marinade of salt, vinegar, and pepper, and garlic. And when it dries, we slowly put in a little oil just to make the meat give up its oil too, you know, kasi may taba siya, di ba? And then it is fried slowly in that oil. No soy sauce. So it turns uniform golden brown because the slow cooking gives the meat time to caramelize. And that's the Cebuano adobo. It's dry. The Chinese, we learned the cooking of a certain dish called Timke. Timke is a chicken that is cooked like a white chicken now in Singapore, in Malaysia. This one particularly is cooked only with garlic and Mallorca. 1.5 cup. And then close it tightly and let it cook slowly over low fire for 3 to 4 hours. What comes out is very aromatic chicken. And that comes from the Parian district of Cebu City. The Balbacua, there is no word for that in the equivalent in the Cebuano dialect or language. Because Balbacua comes from the Spanish word Barbacua, which means slow cooking. So the method, binigay nilang pangalan sa dish. Kasi siguro na-observe ng ating mga old people before na yung tinuro ng Kastila na food was always slow cook. And maybe nagsasabi na ibarbakwa, meaning to say slow cook it para lumambot, di ba? So, of course, we always mangle naman the language that we are introduced to. So, ang barbakwa naging balbakwa. The original recipe which I got from a 1924 cookbook written by Maria Ralios, who was the wife of the first mayor of Cebu during the American era. That's the turn of the century. After 1898, tapos dumating ang Amerikano, so mga 1910, 1920s, they were already cooking. And Maria Ralios wrote a cookbook. The recipe is still there because it was written. That's why I had to write things down. See, 100 years ago, I'm still using that cookbook that was written 100 years ago. The third dish is the Casajos. It's like beef jerky. Tapa, I think, in Tagalog. Kasi yan, you slice it thinly, and then lalagyan mo ng asin, bawang, pepper. Pagkatapos nito, ibibilad sa araw. And then you dry it in the sun. So it will last you several days. But in Danao, you can still find Casajos made of kalabaw. We Filipinos are not fond of documenting. Have you noticed that? Most of our history comes from foreigners who wrote about us. Pigafetta, who wrote about our pre-colonial food and pre-colonial habits and way of dressing. Without Pigafetta, we would not have learned what we wore then, and then we would not learn what we ate then. He talked about budbud kabug already from that time. See, without him writing about the food that they ate when they arrived here, we would not have known pre-colonial food. Now, all the other writers who wrote about us were French, Americans, and all that. But somehow, in this century, we have found the need to write our own history. I think the writing of hikay needed to be done because the food that we grew up in starting to be lost by the current generation. To know that I have done something for the future generation. I think it is very sad for a recipe to disappear. It's a big loss culturally, historically. The food that nourished our people. Ayan, naiyak ako. It's like losing a part of your history. Yeah. It's part of losing your history and your soul as a people. Kasi fast food na lang tayo ng fast food. Yun, all you know is how to eat fried chicken. All you know is how to eat burgers. And now with the influx of Korean and Japanese cooking, mas alam pa natin yun kaysa ating sariling pagkain. Masama yung bakit ako umiyak. Ayun. It's so sad.